Hey guys, good morning. So it dawned on me today that I didn't do my morning video. I did do a night video late last night. So I'm going to share with you guys here this historic Route 66 Rio, I'm going to say Puerco Bridge. I'm going to kind of take you over there as I talk a little bit. Maybe you'll see the bridge over my head. It's a small, I don't know, 120 foot long steel bridge. There's a little sign up there tells me what it is. The neat thing as you can see is you can't see it, but I'm just walking across roads. I don't really look for traffic. Half the stuff I've seen has no traffic in it, so to speak. Anyway, so a few things for today in the next, coming week, and follow up with you guys on a bunch of things. So one, I am the next major town I'm going to hit is a town called Grants, New Mexico, and then a few days after that is a town called Gallup, New Mexico. That's my game plan. Let's see. This says Rio Puerco Bridge. This Parker Through Truss, located on the historic Route 66, was built in 1933. It was fabricated by Kansas City Structural Steel Company and erected. 250-foot length. Is one of the longest in New Mexico. Repairs and remodeling in 1957 were completed. It was replaced in 1999 and was being preserved by the New Mexico State Highway and Department of Transportation. And I assume down below me is what's supposed to be a river. I'm pretty sure that's what Rio is in Spanish. But as has happened, I crossed the Rio Grande back in Albuquerque, and I kid you not, the Rio Grande looked like a runoff, sidewalk runoff. It was just no water in it. And here's someone trying to turn this around. If you give me a minute. But that looks like what is considered the river, and this is the bridge. It's obviously not in use anymore. Anyway, a couple thoughts to share with you guys. One is there's a movie back in the day, I believe it's called Wind Talkers, and it talked about a group of Navajo Indian men that had their own Navajo language and code that I believe in World War II, and I don't believe in World War II, was a code that helped us win the war because people couldn't crack it. And that's what the movie Wind Talkers, I believe, is about. But anyway, one of the gentlemen had done an autograph signing and signed his book for Stephanie and George. And yesterday while I was there, I was able to read a bunch of that. And it was neat because they were talking about, as a young man, he was talking about the town someone to be walking through. So that was kind of neat. So Heather, if you get this, why don't you see about renting Wind Talkers for the kids tonight and watch it with them. And they can kind of get an idea of where it is that Dad's walking through today. It's kind of cool. Weather's phenomenal. Light wispy clouds in the sky. But as I came through town, Stephanie dropped me off down towards the city. She actually is taking up a course where learning how to make jewelry. It's a pretty neat hobby. And some of the stones she was sharing with me out here, phenomenal. And it dawned on me, there's so much of our country. Most of you that have met me know I kind of ask some random questions. But one of the ones I ask frequently is, money and job aside, if you can take any vacation in the world, where would it be? And I get all sorts of answers. But for me, I don't have an interest in doing Europe or the Orient or even Australia and New Zealand. I'm fascinated by our own country, and there's so much in our country I've never seen I want to expose my kids to. I'm gonna be honest with you, the RV way of life is so appealing to me. I'm learning that on this journey. There's a part of me that kind of thinking about the movie RV with Robin Williams, God rest his soul, and Jeff. Anyway, I forgot Jeff's name there. But they have this RV lifestyle. There's a part of me that's kind of going, hey, I wonder if Heather would let me homeschool the kids for a year and take them around the country. How cool would that be? So that was one of the thoughts that ran through my head this morning. But ultimately, I wanted to share with you on this journey. I've been able to make some amazing friends, and I apologize if I'm out of breath. By the way, I hope you can see the bridge behind me now. And add Stephanie and George to the list. I have on a day where I've seen some of the most disappointing things of our nature and humanity. I'm picked back up by people, and I can't thank Stephanie and George and High Strung Riley enough for welcoming me and making me part of their life for a day or two. And the graciousness is so appreciated by myself and my family. So, guys, keep plugging away. But I'll encourage you all, as you're out here, as you're living your day-to-day and planning your vacations. I know typically on the East Coast, I take the kids, if I can, to the shore and Myrtle Beach or Outer Banks. But there's so much of our country that I'm learning about that we haven't even touched yet, that I'm really eager to share with them. And I'll just let you guys know the same thing, is that, well, hang on, there's a van coming. I'll go this way. Guys, take a look at our country. Just go to any state and see what they've got in a travel guide. It's pretty phenomenal as to what our country has to offer. I'm going to take a quick spin around again here, show you some of the landscape. To some it may be desolate and barren. Another way, well, there's of course our casino that we seem to have every 8 miles in our country. But it's really pretty country. There's some mesas off in the distance I'll show you later. But just a great day. 1 month from tomorrow, I'll be flying home to meet my family, my kids, and love on them forever. Finish up the book. To those that know that were part of a call the other night, we've got a few partners in the business. Those that didn't make it, I'd like to still get together and talk with you before I roll anything out to anybody else, because it's going to be a pretty phenomenal ride, what we're going to do with pointing the thumb. I will ask you folks, as you support me, I've shared with you the next week or so, but we're less than 4 weeks away. The next week is going to take me through New Mexico. I think I've had 3 people reach out to me from the Phoenix area, which is below Flagstaff, but I think I'm going to be covered for that portion. And what's nice for me is that I don't think I'm going to have any more of those bad moments like when I left Tucumcari to go to Albuquerque. There are certainly gaps between the towns, but there are little towns, 15 miles away. Like I said, I'm heading to Grants today. That's 60 miles away from where I am. But I'll have a couple of towns to stop at, rest up, replenish my water. But guys, we're going to be quickly, before we even know it, into LA. And I was talking to some of my real close followers that have been helping me along the way, trying to figure out the best course of action, because it's been a pretty straight run out west, but when you get to the California border, the road kind of forks a little bit. And I can go down south and go through basically Palm Springs and Palm Desert, and then up into LA, kind of from the direct west and the south a little bit, where I could head up north a little bit towards Barstow, through the Mojave Desert, I think it is, and then head into LA from the north. And I think that's the route I'm going to go. But my point is, if you guys want to help me continue spreading the message, we're going to be ending up in one of the media capitals of the world. Our announced, I don't have an announced time yet, but it's going to be Friday the 26th. But if you guys can reach out to local papers, not just LA, but further out, that's the part I'm kind of asking for help now. Take a look by Barstow and the towns that go from Barstow to LA. I don't necessarily, I shouldn't say mind. Sleeping out in the desert is one thing. It's got its fears to it, and I'm a little scared by it. And it's also a necessity. There's not a lot of people around. As you get towards Los Angeles, there's certainly plenty of towns. You don't always just find a place to rest your head. So if you guys can reach out, if you have friends or family. The way I came to know about George and Stephanie was Kelly back in Dover, PA, who I'd never met before. Told her mom, and they took an interest in the journey, and now we're an integral part of my life and the book and the story behind it. And so if you know folks out in LA towards Barstow, and then I'm not sure, the little towns along the way back into LA, eventually I'm going to be cutting through, believe it or not, Beverly Hills and Pasadena, I believe. Maybe I'll see the Rose Bowl. Anyway, so that's kind of the game plan. So I'm asking for your help in that regard. if you could reach out, in particular to California. And it's only going to be 3 weeks till I'm there, so time runs pretty short. We get busy, media folks get busy. If you guys can start to carry the message, I appreciate that. Outside of that, it's just more walking on Route 40, which is also Route 66, because that's where we get our kicks. And I love you guys for following. I feeling pretty good mentally and physically. You know, that can change quickly, but at the moment it's all good, and I'm just going to keep flying on through. So if you want to kind of keep an idea where I'm going to, heading up towards the Grants Campground of America. I anticipate being there late tomorrow would be my game plan. 60 miles away, so if I do 30 to 35 today, I got a little bit later start, so I don't know if I'll get all 35 in, and then do another 30, 35 tomorrow. I'll be getting there later in the day, but that's my game plan. So love you guys, thanks for following, and have yourselves a great Saturday.